All right. Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? Okay, we're ready to go. Hello, my name is Tiff. I'm a BSN RN, and today I am putting you on notice. All right? It's January 2025. I want you to stop wasting your talent. I want you to stop wasting your time. I want you to stop being exploited in this healthcare system.
We're going to play a fun game called Truth or Lies, where I will make some claims about healthcare self-employment, assisted living facilities, and financial freedom, and you can guess if they're true or if I'm telling lies.
This video is going to help my fellow healthcare heroes understand some basics of assisted living and begin to separate the fact from fiction. I believe the field is very well suited for nurses and other medical experts to achieve financial freedom and to put something great back into the world that is so desperately needed.
So, we're going to spill some tea and separate fact from fiction on a few points. Number one, the cost of franchising other businesses versus starting assisted living. Also, the differences between assisted living facilities and nursing homes, income expectations in this field, and expected costs and how to prepare financially to get your facility licensed.
So, I'm going to start by telling you this. My journey into nursing and my journey into assisted living is a little bit odd, okay? I reached financial independence before going back to nursing school, and that made a huge difference in my perspective about healthcare, about what is really good work-life balance. It changed my perspective on the power dynamics between, employees and big businesses, employees in some hospital systems, not all. The facility allowed us to really unplug from the matrix. I was able to leave my pretty well-paying claims adjuster position with only 2 residents in the home. From that small beginning, I was able to leave my full-time job. And from that, we were able to purchase and license a second facility. After that, I began helping people who were interested in the business, by answering questions, doing walkthroughs of potential properties. They're like,
I don't know if this is worth renting. I don't know if this is worth buying. Is this going to pass inspection?
I helped them create marketing materials. I helped them prepare for their state inspections, help them prepare for employee trainings, things like that. So I have a different mindset. When it comes to healthcare workers being used, being abused, getting the short end of the stick, working for large healthcare corporations, again, it's not all of them. There are some incredible ones out there. But I feel like we can get stuck running on this endless hamster wheel, and I'm just very passionate about showing people there's another way. Like in my mind's eye, I want all the nurses, all the techs, all the physicians, like all the PAs, all the NPs, nutritionists, speech language pathologists. Like I want us all to band together and design perfect patient care, perfect facilities, break the mold, break out of this matrix, because we know what heals patients better than the insurance companies know. We know what heals patients better than some of these hospital administrators who've never done patient care in their lives.
Before I go off, let me go into the first claim of the game.
They don't really want you to reach financial independence. Truth. When I say they, I'm talking about the people who run things, people who own these companies, who control these hospital systems, who control all of these healthcare agencies, who control mega corporations. They don't want you to reach financial independence. They want you to stay clocking into their corporation, thankful for your little 1, 2, 3 weeks of vacation a year. They want you to be so exhausted working shifts in their hospitals where they are just always understaffed, even though someone's paid to forecast staffing, right? Even though someone's paid to hire and there are a million interviews, you can't keep anyone because burnout is so high. They want you to not think about using your nursing skills, using your healthcare knowledge, using your HR skills, using your heart to build something great for yourself, to serve your community, and to build a legacy for your family. They don't want you to do that, because if you do that, then you're unplugged. And then when are they going to get their labor from? How are they going to scam their new grads into working for pennies or taking med-surg assignments with a 10-to-1 ratio? There are other businesses that lay a path for financial freedom. Truth. But in my opinion, assisted living is the only business that can really generate a high level of profit with lower startup costs. When you think of franchises, most people think of food service. McDonald's has a liquid cash requirement of between $350,000 and $500,000. You gotta have that liquid in the bank when you apply to be a franchisee. Even something smaller like Arita's Italian Ice House, you need to have $100,000 in liquid capital and a $300,000 net worth to apply to be a franchisee. A 7-Eleven, there's a franchisee fee of $40,000, and that does not include your land and building permits and improvements. Maybe you're thinking of, okay, I would just do it, but not with food franchises. I'm going to use other healthcare-based business. If you wanted to open up a Crunch Fitness, that's $918,000 to $6.7 million in startup costs. Maybe a Pearl Vision, a nice little optometrist office, get them in and out. That's going to be $71,000 minimum, up to $1.3 million in startup revenue that you need to have available. Maybe you want to create an urgent center, like a primary care center. Maybe you are NP. Maybe you and your NP, PA buddies, let's open it up. Let's get a few texts. According to entrepreneur.com, in order to open an American Family Care urgent care center, $1.2 million to $1.8 million in startup costs. You have to begin with a single family home to start assisted living. That is not necessary, but the truth is it is an advantage. So if you have a single family home, you already kind of have your ticket in. If you are financially fit enough though to rent an apartment, condo, or townhome, you can potentially get that license as an assisted living as well. I know because our first facility was a townhome. Many assisted living facility managers or owners, they start their journey by kind of sectioning off a smaller part of their house, like a basement, an in-law suite. I've even seen an attic. I would not recommend that, to be honest, but I've seen people use an attic. Section off a smaller portion of their house to live in during renovations, to prepare their facility for inspections, or also when they first get their few clients in for like a few weeks or months even. This allows them to get to know their clients better, to get used to their schedule, to learn like their medications, to learn just the ins and outs on a more intimate level, and to really get closer with their clients. And then by the second or third client, they have more resources to pull in staff, to get their second property or relocate to a nearby apartment. And many buy another house, license that one, and wash, rinse, and repeat. However, some people do get licensed utilizing a townhome or an apartment. Like I said before, our first facility was a townhome that we rented. We had to get authorization to make non-structural changes to the properties. And you would definitely want to have a good understanding of local zoning laws and health codes to shop for a good location and a good unit. Assisted living is all about the elderly. The greatest thing about assisted living is that unlike other business ventures, you don't have to serve everybody, and you really should not try to serve everyone. You can truly work with the populations that you are most comfortable in, that you are the most familiar with, that you have knowledge and exposure to. So if you're really passionate about mental health like myself, you can have a facility geared towards mental health where you might not see as many physical disabilities with your residents, but you can still give the clients the support that they need, as well as provide a very tranquil, soothing, positive, peaceful environment. If you don't have a passion for the elderly, or that's just not your area of expertise or comfort, that's okay. The ball is in your court with assisted living, and you're really in control. Nursing homes and assisted livings are basically the same. Assisted living facilities are a smaller, kinder, more family-oriented approach to long-term care, whereas nursing homes are more clinical, more corporate. There's more of like an institutionalized feeling to a nursing home compared to an assisted living facility. Assisted living facilities are home style. They're often literally in people's homes that have been renovated with some small changes to make them handicap accessible. They're comfy. They're family-owned businesses. They helped clients, which we call residents because they live there, they reside there. We help them with their activities of daily living. We help them with their medication. We prepare and serve nutritious meals. We help them with safety as well. And the type of residents' needs will vary based on the population that you have. So some residents may need help getting dressed, while others may need like a full-blown bed, bath, and bed. They may be bed bound. They may need all types of like range of motion exercises and things like that. It will always include cooking meals and any assistance with ADLs, as well as transportation to and from other medical appointments. The most successful assisted living facilities that I see, I'm a little biased, but they have medical professionals at the helm. They just work well because we kind of have to learn a little bit about everything in nursing school. And you still just continue learning and observing and just absorbing medical information. You learn about the medications more in depth. You learn about what side effects to expect for different diagnoses. And it just lends really, really well to being a natural fit for assisted living. Income is variable. That's true. It's an uncomfortable one, but I told you, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it real with you the whole time. But it is predictable when you put certain systems in place from the beginning. So what type of income can you expect? People are like,
okay, what type of money can you make?
I hate that there's no quick and easy answer, but I'll let you know kind of how the tiers go. So it really depends on your level of expertise as the assisted living owner and or manager, and it depends on your staff's level of expertise as well. So like, are you a medical professional? Are you a registered nurse, a BSN, an NP, a respiratory therapist, a speech language pathologist? You know, when you have those credentials and you work in the area of your expertise with people who need your expertise, then you can kind of demand your own price, and it gets to be more of like a boutique assisted living facility where you cater to a medical niche. That's when you see prices that, you know, you really are just naming your own price. It also depends on the population that you help or your specialty area. Are you dealing with people who have developmental delays? Are you dealing with veterans? Are you dealing with people who have, you know, GI feeding tubes? How complex their care is going to determine your reimbursement rates. And it also depends on how many beds, which are rooms, which can be private or semi-private, meaning one person or two people in a room. How many beds do you get licensed for, and what type of services can you provide in-house or refer to and coordinate out of house? The national average for assisted living facilities is $5,500 a month, $66,126 annually per client. So you can have a facility that has clients that average, you know, $11,000 a month. For lower income clients, you'll see closer to like $1,500 to $2,500 reimbursement rates. Finding the right clients can be difficult. Once again, I'm giving y'all some uncomfortable truths here, but I want you to go in really having a better understanding of this. You do need to have a plan to get clients quickly. You don't want to just open and assume that immediately there's going to be a line around your facility. You're going to get calls, you're going to get referrals the day you open. It's just like any other business. You have to kind of hit the pavement or have a marketing plan in place. A lot of people go through the hassle of getting licensed and they spend thousands of dollars only to have an empty facility because they did not have an adequate marketing plan. Or sometimes people fill up their facilities very quickly because they're chasing money, they're chasing the high paying clients, and then they end up, you know, with the wrong mix of clients in the house where like no one's really vibing with each other. The residents are all like, you know, you have a 30-year-old with beautiful, brilliant blue hair that is, you know, sitting on their soapbox every day, and then you have the 87-year-old who is confused as to what is going on and why the TV is so low, and you just have a house that's like a mixture of people that really don't make a very cohesive family. They don't have many things in common. There's no real social connection. There's no like generational connection. So I've seen it happen on both extremes. Like the houses stay empty because people are too picky and they're not really willing to take a risk. And, you know, they don't really know how to get clients in a way that works for them in their business. And then on the other end of the spectrum, they're taking everyone, and it doesn't make a really cohesive home or like a good care setting for socialization purposes. So again, the income is very good, but you do have to use wisdom and planning to get the residents that are a good fit and to have the income that adequately compensates you and your staff. It's super expensive to get started. So, a lie. So let's talk about what's the most common expenses. Every city and state has different rules and regulations on how you have to set up your assisted living facility. Most of them, or many of them, are universal as far as like the requirements for each resident's bedroom. They're going to need a window. That's like a human right. They need to have fresh air and sunlight available to them at all times. For a larger facility of like more than 10 beds, you're going to need a fire sprinkler system, you know, hard installed in the facility. That's pretty common as well. The zoning codes can mean some light to moderate renovations depending on the property that you decide to use for your ALF. So a light renovation may be as simple as installing those safety bars on the side of your shower so that someone can have something to brace themselves on when they're getting in and out to do their bathing. A moderate renovation example could be installing a permanent wheelchair ramp at an entryway or an exit point of the facility. Inspections and applications do cost money. When the fire department comes out and they're checking your smoke detectors and they're, you know, taking out their measuring stick, that was an awkward motion. They're taking out their measuring tape and they're looking at how much space is around your water heater and around your furnace, and they're measuring your means of egress. That costs money. When zoning comes out, when the health department comes out, it all costs money. It could be $50 a visit. It could be up to $500 a visit. In the area where I'm mostly well versed, which is the DMV, is about $100 to $150 per inspections and per renewals of these licenses. Your education is also going to cost money. Medication technician training is required to pass meds in many states. They may call it something different. Assisted living manager courses are given by state mandated educational providers. That costs money. You have to renew them every year or every 2 years, depending on what state you're in. So my ALM cost, I think about $1,000, and that was back in 2018. And to renew it, I think it's only like 150, maybe 200. Depends on where you take the course, but when you initially take it, it is a big chunk of change. Staff needs to be trained too. Staff is going to be your biggest financial expense, which is why I encourage people to work as much as they can with their residents in their own facilities when they are brand new to the industry. It helps you bond with your residents. It helps you learn the ins and outs. You're aware of what's going on, and you know how to train someone else to do it because you've done it, right? So the experience that you get in being there, bonding with your clients, is invaluable. However, it also saves you money. But eventually you will have to budget for staff if you don't want to live there, which most of us don't want to do. So you do need to budget for someone to be there 24/7. You want to plan to pay them well. You want to plan to keep them trained. And their training costs money too, just like your training. But it will prevent accidents, it will prevent injuries, it will prevent all types of bad situations. So you do want to invest in that. So that is it for today. If you are interested in more business and nursing content, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. It will inspire you to go to your next level, whatever that may be. And I'm going to see you in the next one. I'm going to spill all the tea on my assisted living journey and the mistakes that my husband and I made along the way so that you can avoid them. See you next time.